Good morning and welcome to LNG Marketplace Weekly News Flash. Here's the latest news we have selected from you from all over the media. The top story of the week we found on S&P Global Platts. The South Korean government has lowered taxes on LNG used for power production by 75% and has risen those on thermal coal by 28% in a move to boost gas consumption. On the same website, we read that ExxonMobil Corporation and Total SA have reached an agreement related to increased gas exports from Papua New Guinea that will approximately double the country's LNG export capacity. According to oilprice.com, the LNG sector has become dangerously dependent on Chinese demand. The LNG players are advised to broaden their markets before they begin suffering the impact of this over-reliance. United Kingdom's LNG imports have jumped to the highest volume since 2015. Presently, Great Britain has imported more of US and Russian LNG and has diminished the traditional Qatar's market share, as read on oilprice.com. Egypt has returned to LNG exports, making its biggest offer to supply the market in at least the last 5 years. This news can be found on Bloomberg. On oilandgas360.com, we read that LNG shipping business that has long been a small piece of the global tanker market is on a sharp upswing as energy producers look for clean sources of power to replace oil and coal. Coming back to the S&P Global Platts website, you find a statement from a Shell executive stating that Russian LNG is well positioned to compete with North American projects to reach new markets in Asia and the Atlantic Basin despite the challenges. If you happen to surf through the LNGindustry.com website, you will bump into the latest update from the company GasLog Ltd. that has announced the signing of a new long-term charter party agreement with Endesa SA for its existing uncommitted new building vessel, the GasLog Warsaw. And last but not least, on LNG World News, you can read that the European Commission has approved for a grant for Polish LNG terminal expansion. We selected for you also a few LNG bunkering-related news pieces. Hellenic Shipping informs that Japan's INPEX has signed an agreement with Abu Dhabi National Oil Company about LNG bunkering. According to LNGindustry.com, there is a plan of a series of short-sea LNG bunker vessels to be built for Eesti Gas of Estonia, and that has started in Damen Yingchang shipyard in China. Also in March, 2 LNG commercial bunkering operations has been completed for seagoing ships carried out at seaports of Gdańsk and Gdynia in Poland. As the LNG bunkering market is the most blooming and promising sector of the industry, we recommend you the Global LNG Bunkering Market Report that you can find on Market Search News website. The links to all the news you can find in the description box of the podcast. That's it for this week. Tune in next week for more, and until then, thanks for tuning in. If you don't want to miss any of our podcast episodes of Weekly News Flash, remember to subscribe via our website to the available channels, including YouTube, iTunes, Android Podcast, RSS, and SoundCloud.